America is not a racist country.
Many of my brothers and sisters subscribe to me from the Philadelphia area knows exactly what this facility is. I knew what it was as a child. And the thing that blew me away is this prison is built in a residential area. Yes, you see the facility right there on the screen, and then right across the street, you see a neighborhood right there. That was one thing I never could understand. This is Holmesburg. My Philadelphia brothers and sisters subscribe to me know exactly what this prison is. This is Holmesburg. And whenever an inmate would escape, they would have to lock down the whole area. People would have to go in their homes, lock their I couldn't live like that. I couldn't do it. But this is the madness that these folks will do just to earn a buck. But this story gets far, far worse. If y'all remember in the beginning of the pandemic, when they were coming out with the Japsine, they were trying to get more people in the Black community to take the Japsine. And you heard talk about the Tuskegee experiments and how there was a big lack of trust. Well, I tell you what, this story is going to put that nail in the coffin on why many of us don't trust this government, we don't trust this system, and we don't believe what you say. So let's get into this story, y'all. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, apologizes for experiments on Black inmates. Now, it's bad enough y'all put people in these dungeons that didn't even commit a crime. And then you're going to get them in there and do medical experiments on them? Wow. Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia issued an apology Thursday for the unethical medical experiments performed on mostly Black inmates at its Holmesburg prison from the 1950s through the 1970s. Ladies and gentlemen, you need your head examined if you think this is the only prison in the country that did this. They did this all over the damn country. The devil has no limits. The move comes after a community activist and families of some of those inmates raised the need for a formal apology. No, you need to be financially compensated. That's something they really hate to do when it comes down to us. It also follows a string of apologies from various U.S. cities over historically racist policies or wrongdoing in the wake of the nationwide racial reckoning after the killing of George Floyd by, we know, Derek Chauvin. The city allowed the University of Pennsylvania, which I have done several stories on, for them keeping the remains of slaves. Researcher Albert Klingman, he conducted a experiment for dermatology and pharmaceutical experiments that intentionally exposed about 300 inmates to viruses, fungus, asbestos, and chemical agents. And one of those agents had a component that was used in Agent Orange. So they intended on experimenting and generally just killing these men. The vast majority of, I think it's Klingman experiments were done on Black men, many of whom were awaiting trial or trying to save money for bail, many of whom were illiterate, the city said. And yes, this was a white doctor, and he was very selective on choosing Black men, inmates, to experiment on. This doctor pioneered Retin A. Well, he died in 2010. Of course, he's going to live a peaceful life when he really shouldn't have. This doctor, I hope he's burning in the hottest part of hell. Many of the former inmates would have lifelong scars and health issues from the experiments. A group of inmates filed a lawsuit against the university and this doctor's estate in 2000. And in Philadelphia, they threw the case out, saying statutes of limitations. But these inmates are still suffering physically from those experiments. Statute of limitations for ruining somebody's damn life. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney said in an apology that the experiments exploited a vulnerable population and the impact of the medical racism has extended for generations. Without excuse, we formally and officially extend a sincere apology to those who were subjected to this inhumane, horrific abuse. We are also sorry it took so long to hear these words, Kenny wrote. I don't care about your apology. These people are still suffering physically. What are you going to give them so that they can get the medical help and attention that they need? They're still suffering. The ones that are living. Last year, the University of Pennsylvania issued a formal apology to it and took Klingman's name off of. Oh, who cares if you took this monster doctor's name off of things? So what? Oh my goodness, that's nothing. So the University of Pennsylvania had this doctor's name as an honoree, and they claimed they took him off of things, It's so what? The university also directed research funds to fellows focused on dermatology issues on people of color. Well, these folks need compensation. They don't need that. Oh, you took his name off of what some a couple of classrooms and lecture rooms you had. Who the hell cares about that? For real. These men are still out here suffering? Wow. It almost makes you want to look into how many other prisons in America allowed these Frankenstein doctors to come up in there and experiment on the black inmates. Because you know darn well Philadelphia is not the only location they did this stuff to. See, this is why when you get in there, they want to strip you of all your rights and put you back at a slave status. Unbelievable. And see, this man got to live out the rest of his life and just die peacefully after he did this to a bunch of black inmates. Y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.